Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mike here, Mike's Weather Page, ready for our tropical update here on YouTube. If you like our page here on YouTube, please subscribe. It would mean a lot. We're trying to get it bigger. But we have Tropical Storm Fiona. We got to watch Fiona, tricky, sneaky little Fiona. We're going to digest everything right now. It could be a hurricane today, Saturday. The conditions are favorable, and we got some watches up we got to go over. So I'm going to put Hunter down and get right into it. We just had a new update at 8 o'clock with hurricane watches extended a little bit more towards Dominican Republic. I'll show you that. Here's a current look. So it did cross the islands overnight, and the convection has starting to get closer to the lower level convection. Yesterday we were talking a lot about it being displaced, and there's signs now that it's becoming a little bit more better vertically stacked. You can see that very well. It's always been a very good, tightly spun system here. With the winds, and now that we're seeing a little bit more organization, the 500 millibar upper level winds are catching up. So this thing is in a good spot here for intensification goes. The conditions down there are very favorable. The wind shear has reduced quite a bit. Anytime you get less wind shear, you have a better chance for systems to develop too. So this little blue hatched area down here, where it's going, indicates lower wind shear. The ocean heat content, I know we talk about this a lot, but it's entering this orange and red area, which is a lot of warm water below the surface. So a lot of these conditions are stacking up here for some intensification we got to worry about. And I'll show you a few models here in a second. This is our latest NHC map. Hurricane watches are up. The pink areas are hurricane watches for Dominican Republic now and Puerto Rico. That expected curve north is still happening with a tug towards possibly Bermuda, continental U.S. Again, the models trends are your friends, and pretty much are all pointing a pole north. There are some ensembles that I'll show that kind of keep the continental U.S. looking, but for now we're going to focus on the short term and what you might expect down there. Timing of tropical storm force winds. They could still reach Virgin Islands this afternoon. The core of the system's still off to your southeast. So by tonight, Saturday night, we're going to start seeing the stronger winds hit the island. It'll be an all-night affair for Puerto Rico, and then tomorrow, storms beginning to turn into Dominican Republic, and they're going to start seeing winds tomorrow, Sunday. So that's a good map. It's on my site. Here's another good site, Zoom Earth. You can see now a little something that kind of happened a little bit. The hurricane hunters have been finding our system is dipping a little farther south. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but we're going to get a new track update at 11 a.m. If this thing keeps bumping south, it could, at least for the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, it could keep more of that core off the shore. So that's something to keep in mind. If our system keeps trekking south, they're going to have to adjust the track. The eventual turn is coming. We think. You always watch tropics, but interesting. The hurricane hunters are out there right now, and they're finding that the storm has actually dipped a little south. This is based on the latest track at 5 a.m., so that this track is going to adjust a little bit at 11. So a new track comes out at 11 o'clock. And we'll see if we actually end up with any warnings possibly for Puerto Rico. That would be when we would get those likely. So pay attention to that. Of course, if we got anybody obviously watching down in Hispaniola and Dominican Republic, this thing takes a little dip south. We could have more of it impact the island. So lots to watch down here. Some of the latest models here. Let me show you real quick the H-Wharf. H-Wharf, I believe, does a very good job. This is on Tropical Tidbits. But watch the intensification. It's 1,000 millibars according to H-Wharf. But it really blows it up here, 980, 970, even 960 by tonight into tomorrow morning. Always a possibility in this region here that we could have some quick intensification. Now the track on this is going a little more to Puerto Rico, yes, so keep that in mind. This new update with the NHCs coming out might see a little shift south, a little bit more away maybe from the island. We'll have to see. The H-Mon's showing the same possibility as far as intensification goes. 970, 960. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. Is this thing possibly becoming more intensified than they expected? Even the GFS is showing a track over Puerto Rico, but going 970 overnight, 960. So just keep that in your mind. This thing could, it's not just a tropical storm. First off, the rain. I do have radar on my site here from Puerto Rico, and we're already starting to get in the rain bands coming in. But this is your current thinking from the Euro. Purple's anything about a foot plus. The Euro track is a little bit more, over Puerto Rico right now. Again, if this thing shifts, less rain maybe for parts of the island. But the general thinking is no matter what the path is, this is going to be the rain. Anything purple and white is 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. Purple is about 12 inches. That's a lot. And then the GFS here, kind of showing the same thing. This is showing a more east track, which would indicate more rains away from Hispaniola. But if this thing bumps a little bit on the 11 o'clock, these rains shift with that. But the bottom line is there's a lot of rain coming. Slow moving system as it reacts to the steering currents that are fixing to come and get that tug north. Let's see, some of the spaghetti models we just got out. I think Tropical Tidbits just popped out their new 12Z suites. Let's pull that up real quick. These just came out, 12Z spaghetti models. And again, there's your consensus now. Unfortunately, Bermuda's really close to this. Could be a major hurricane. We got a lot of people down on the Turks and Caicos. They're going to be watching this potential hurricane as this thing turns to the north. And why is this happening is this. We got a frontal line coming down next week here. Let me go to midweek next week. Here's our system down here just clearing Hispaniola. And we have a front coming down that is eventually expected to pull our system up and curve it towards, unfortunately, Bermuda. That frontal line has been showing up almost a week now, so high confidence of that turning and missing a big, part of the continental U.S. And most all the models are showing that. Let's show you really quick all the latest runs here from Tropical Tidbits, and then we'll show you those ensembles I talked about the what if scenario. Here's the latest Euro showing a strengthening system through the islands here and making that Mona Passage, missing some of that Hispaniola. We'll see if that actually happens now with this potential shift coming at 11. But bottom line is, developing hurricane, possibly major hurricane curving. And again, all the models are showing this eventual curve coming. So that's high confidence. Now, the only thing that's tricky is looking at some ensembles here. We're going to look at really quick the latest Euro 12Z ensembles. Just throwing it out there, there's still a few members of the Euro ensembles thinking that this thing could get beat up, head a little bit more west, cross over Hispaniola, get really beat up from those high mountains, and track a little bit to the west. So just keep that in your mind. It's not 100% set in stone. Never say never in the tropics. There are a few ensembles still suggesting this thing stays a little more weak west. But in the short term, listen, we got a developing system. It's sneaky. The conditions are very favorable down there, and expect some intensification, surprise intensification, in my opinion, with this shear relaxing, the hot waters, and the MJO cycle we didn't mention in this little video. But a lot of conditions are favorable for this storm now to intensify into a hurricane to watch. So stay safe, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video updates here on YouTube. I'll keep them coming, and probably one this afternoon. So have a good day. Bye-bye.